Tonight on this special edition of Cronkite News, we finally have a World Cup winner. Spain took home the title, beating the defending champs Argentina. Plus, the World Cup is bringing in millions of dollars all across North America and even right here in the Valley. Find out how local businesses are benefiting from the World Cup boom. Plus, the U.S. men's national team is made up of players from all over the world who chose to come together to play under one flag. Good evening and welcome into this special World Cup edition of Cronkite News. I'm Jacob Brooks. Thank you all for joining us. Spain has done it. After a tense, low-scoring match, Spain took out the defending champion Argentina to win the World Cup in extra time. It was a fantastic atmosphere at MetLife Stadium, the home of the New York Jets and Giants, and just look at the emotion and how much this meant to Spain and its fans. Spain won the match 1-0, making it the team's second World Cup title after its first in 2010. Spain is on a special run right now, adding this World Cup title to a 2024 Euros championship and an Olympic title also in 2024. Juan Manosalva and Emily Montano have more now on the road to this World Cup title.
Welcome to our final edition of World Cup Roundup. I'm Emily Montano.
And I'm Juan Manosalva. After a month of history, drama, and unforgettable moments across North America, the 2026 FIFA World Cup has crowned a champion.
Spain has returned to the top of world football, defending Argentina to claim their second FIFA World Cup title. Their possession-based style and stingy defense carry them through a challenging tournament.
The championship ends a 16-year wait since Spain's first World Cup triumph in 2010, making La Roja just the 9th nation ever to win multiple men's FIFA World Cup titles. But this World Cup will be remembered for much more than its champion.
One of the tournament's biggest stories was Cape Verde, who reached the round of 16 for the first time in the nation's history. Their historic run included matchups against both finalists, proving they could compete with the world's best.
History was also made in the semifinals, as FIFA's 4 highest-ranked national teams reached the Final Four for the first time ever. Argentina, Spain, France, and England live up to their rankings, with the top 2 teams eventually meeting in the final.
And the Golden Boot race was one for the ages, as Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe each scored more than 20 goals, putting together 2 of the most prolific tournament performances ever.
Of course, the month wasn't without its share of controversy.
One of the biggest talking points came when U.S. striker Valerian Balogun received a controversial red card, a decision that shifted momentum and changed the course of the Americans' tournament.
Another debate centered on the growing American influence on the tournament, as extended hydration breaks during matches led some people to argue they disrupted the rhythm and flow of the game.
Players, coaches, and supporters also questioned the effectiveness of VAR, with lengthy reviews and inconsistent decisions continuing to spark debate throughout the tournament.
Off the field, high ticket prices drew criticism from fans, while the first ever World Cup halftime show divided opinion over whether it belonged in soccer's biggest match.
For the United States, this tournament represented an important step forward.
The U.S. men's national team surprised much of the soccer world with this performance, reaching the knockout stage on home soil and sparking a new level of excitement for the sport across the country.
While a 4-1 loss in the round of 16 to Belgium showed the work still lies ahead, the tournament proved the United States is moving in the right direction.
With talented, young core and valuable experience gained during this home World Cup, the U.S. now has a strong foundation to build toward the 2030 FIFA World Cup.
From record-setting moments to historic breakthroughs,
the 2026 FIFA World Cup has left a lasting legacy.
It has been a pleasure bringing you the World Cup Roundup.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm Emily Montano.
And I'm Juan Manosalva.
Thanks, guys. The World Cup is also big for business, bringing in millions of dollars to the host cities. And even though no games were hosted here in the Valley, one local city is still feeling an economic boost from the World Cup. Cronkite News reporter Paloma Rochelle tells us how.
The Turkey men's national soccer team chose the East Valley as their training ground ahead of their upcoming World Cup tournament matches. Hosting the team is a massive logistical feat that took a team effort just to recruit them.
We really look at the tourism impact and what that means for the visitor economy, and being able to, again, really elevate Mesa's tourism and sports tourism angle.
That spike in foot traffic is exactly what city leaders are counting on. The economic impact of an international soccer team is comparable to one of the East Valley's biggest tourist draws.
For example, when we have spring training, baseball spring training, we see a spike on our sales tax revenue due to spring training. Now, can we quantify it? It's just from that. You know, we assume that, and it's a good 99% probability. The same would be with the team coming here. And we would see a spike in, you know, sales tax revenue as well as hotel stays.
That expected boost in sales tax and hotel stays is welcome news.
I actually just found out, which is amazing news.
In downtown Mesa, where merchants often struggle during the lean summer months, for local restaurants like Tacos Chivas, an arrival of fans couldn't come at a better time.
Because in the summer, we do struggle a lot. Everybody goes back home or traveling. So I know this is going to bring a great revenue to our restaurant. So we're looking forward to having all those either team players, customers, people visiting Mesa.
All those extra lunch orders, including burgers, quesadillas, tacos, drinks, can add up. City officials expect the soccer team visit will bring in millions of tourism dollars.
Visit Mesa estimates the economic impact at $3 million, which is no small change for small businesses who say they are ready to welcome all the visitors who are here to support the Turkey men's national team. In downtown Mesa, Paloma Rochelle, Cronkite News.
Thank you, Paloma. Visit Mesa officials say they plan to use the success of this World Cup partnership to pitch the Valley to host even more sporting events in the future. Sports, and especially football, are all about tradition. After the break, we'll take a closer look at one of those traditions that's been bringing people closer together.
I already feel like I'm part of the World Cup because I completed the album.
Find out why the Panini World Cup album means so much to so many after a quick break.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. You know, the ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.
The Cronkite News app. Watch Cronkite News, weather, sports, morning updates whenever you want, all on demand. Stay connected to the events and happenings in the Valley of the Sun. Content you won't find anywhere else, plus binge-worthy movies and unforgettable specials. Wow. It's a free app, Cronkite Plus. Enjoy on your phone, streaming service, or go to cronkiteplus.com.
Welcome back into Cronkite News. Fans all across North America were part of a World Cup sticker swap earlier this month put on by sticker-making brand Panini. Fans in New York, New Jersey, and Mexico City broke a world record for largest sports sticker exchange in 8 hours, with 4,000 swaps, which doubled the previous record. The Panini World Cup album has actually been around for decades and is popular all across the globe. As the tradition now grows here in the United States, our reporter Juan Manosalva tells us how a new generation of soccer fans is discovering that the World Cup can also be experienced way before the matches even begin, one sticker at a time. Juan?
Thanks, Jacob. In an era when much of the sports experience takes place on a screen, the Panini World Cup album continues to rely on paper, sticker albums, and people trading stickers with one another. That tradition remains so popular that local stores are now hosting sticker swap events, bringing collectors together to complete their albums. Long before the champion is crowned, millions of fans began experiencing the World Cup by filling empty spaces in a paper album. For more than 5 decades, the Panini album has turned players, national teams, and crests into a tradition that connects fans with the tournament.
I already feel like I'm part of the World Cup because I completed the album. Thank God I was also able to go to a World Cup match, and it was an incredible experience. That's another reason I'm filling it out. I think this year will stay with me for the rest of my life.
For some, completing the album means remembering the World Cups they experienced when they were children. For others, it's an activity that brings them closer to their children, relatives, or friends.
I realized that when I opened the first box, everyone sat down at the table with no phones and no tablets. To me, that was incredible. So buying the stickers became an excuse to bring everyone together.
Panini published its first FIFA World Cup album in 1970 and since then has become a fan favorite. The album introduces the players, the crests, and the teams that will be competing in the tournament. So by the time the World Cup begins, fans are already familiar with the teams and their favorite players, making them feel closer to the World Cup experience. And although generations change and technology rules the modern era, the routine remains the same. Buying packs, opening them, organizing the duplicates, and searching for the stickers that are still missing. And to make that search easier, some fans gather at local swapping events like the one held every Sunday at Soccer Locker.
You really need events like this. It helped me 1,000%. I never would have completed my album if it weren't for an event like this.
The 2026 edition is the largest in Panini's history and also one of the last produced under the company's long-standing partnership with FIFA.
Yes, this is my first one, and when I heard Panini was going to make its last albums, I told my mom, I have to collect this one. So that's how we got started.
Panini will continue producing World Cup collections through 2030. After that, the rights to FIFA collectibles will pass to Fanatics and Topps. That makes the 2026 and 2030 editions some of the last of a tradition that has accompanied soccer fans for more than half a century. The Panini experience is also coming to the small screen. A TV series that tells the story of the Panini Empire has been developed for Italian TV and is set to air very soon. In the newsroom, Juan Manosalva, Cronkite News.
Thanks, Juan. The U.S. men's national team is made up of players from all around the world, but they still decided to don the stars and stripes for this World Cup. Our reporter Andrew Montano traveled to Georgia before the World Cup to speak with some of the players about what led to that decision to represent the U.S.
An athlete's biggest goal is to represent their home nation on the highest level, but it's not always that easy to choose if you have dual citizenship. So some players have additional things to consider when weighing their options.
Look, my parents came here with not a lot. I'm a first-generation Hispanic, Salvadoran, Guatemalan, and my parents came here looking for work, trying to put a roof over their heads first and foremost. So it really was the American dream for them.
You see, the thing about the American dream in the soccer world is that it comes with world-class competition, all of which is fighting for the same minutes on Team USA. And as difficult as this competition is, some players also have to choose between stardom at home and success in the States.
There was a big gap where I guess you can say, disappeared from the mix of U.S. soccer. it's like everything happens for a reason, you know, and I'm here and I'm happy, man.
We didn't grow up with a lot of money, but the money that we had was thrown into sports and keeping us off the streets. And, you know, we have a lot to thank to our parents. I think all of us do because of the sacrifices that they made.
About half of the American national team's players are international, meaning they could have played elsewhere. But once World Cup season came around, there were many reasons why a lot of these players elected to represent none other than the Stars and Stripes.
Just the plan that they had for the future. As I said, they wanted to change the view that people have on soccer in America, and I just saw myself as a part of this.
Super nice, exciting. It's crazy because the first couple camps when I got back in the mix, it's like I never left, you know. But obviously I had to get used to the new faces, new guys and stuff.
Choosing between multiple nations carries a certain burden.
And then for me, it was how can I give back, or how can I show appreciation for a nation that has given me so much. And you know, I think our locker room was full of stories like that, and that's the beauty of the United States.
But that weight is nothing compared to the pride felt from the name printed across your chest. In Fayetteville, Georgia, Andrew Montana, Cronkite News.
Thanks, Andrew. Coming up after this quick break, we'll meet a U.S. men's national team player who made it to the World Cup thanks in big part to his father.
Just going to those games, watching my pops play, seeing the passion of the fans, and kind of bred that intensity, that passion, into me.
He learned from the best, his father, who used to be the U.S. men's national team coach. I got a chance to speak with both of them, and we'll hear their story coming up next on Cronkite News.
The Cronkite News app. Watch Cronkite News, weather, sports, morning updates whenever you want, all on demand. Stay connected to the events and happenings in the Valley of the Sun. Content you won't find anywhere else, plus binge-worthy movies and unforgettable specials. Wow. It's a free app, Cronkite Plus. Enjoy on your phone, streaming service, or go to cronkiteplus.com.
You meet so many new people who are on different communities, and when you do that, you're able to network not only, but also get to engage, talk to people, and make life friends.
I think that definitely surprised me, the community that I would find, because I wasn't really expecting it.
Freedom.
Friendly. Nice. I'd say cozy.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there. In that moment, you know that you've reached them.
Welcome back into Cronkite News. For Sebastian Berhalter, making the U.S. men's national team roster was a dream that didn't seem possible. But thanks to a little bit of extra motivation from his dad, he was able to bring that dream to life. I had a chance to speak to Berhalter and his father earlier this summer. Playing in a friendly against Germany in Chicago hit home for Sebastian Berhalter in more ways than one. Germany was where he spent his childhood watching his father Greg play professionally.
Just going to those games, watching my pops play, seeing the passion of the fans, and kind of bred that that intensity, that passion, into me.
Despite his father's status as a former player and national team coach, Sebastian wasn't going to have his soccer career handed to him.
We took a very hands-off approach. We never spoke to coaches, never spoke to agents. It was really just about him and what he was going to be able to do on his own.
When Greg Berhalter finalized his 2022 World Cup roster, he didn't think Sebastian was ready, so he left his son off the team. Instead, he opted to hold rigorous one-on-one training sessions with him in Chicago to get Sebastian to that next level organically.
Just reflecting on those times, those are tough times, and I'm super grateful that I have a dad that would go through that with me and, push me to my limits.
All of the time spent in Chicago grinding in the darkness put Sebastian Berhalter on the right path. But it wasn't until he got one of these, an official World Cup mini replica trophy, that he truly went all in on trying to follow in his father's footsteps and earn a spot on the U.S. World Cup roster.
It was so important to him to buy this little World Cup replica trophy. And he's like, I'm going to put it in my apartment, and every single day I'm going to look at it, and that's going to be a reminder of where I want to go.
Sebastian's manifestation was realized in the form of a spot on the 2026 World Cup roster, and the cherry on top, he got to soak in the send-off game in the city that's embraced him even at his lowest.
Chicago, I call it home. Back here a year later, it's pretty crazy going to the World Cup, so yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
He had to be patient, but he also had to keep believing in himself, and that's what I think I'm most proud of, is that that self-belief never wavered.
Sebastian Berhalter could have had soccer the easy way, but instead, he put his head down and earned it, which will make this World Cup all the sweeter. In Chicago, Jacob Brooks, Cronkite News. Coming up next on Cronkite News, after a war broke out in Bosnia in 1993, thousands of refugees relocated here to Phoenix. And this World Cup, that community was united here in the Valley to cheer on Bosnia.
Listening to our anthem play in an American stadium on American soil is so amazing.
More on the Bosnian home away from home coming up on Cronkite News.
You meet so many new people who are on different communities, and when you do that, you're able to network not only, but also get to engage, talk to people, and make life friends.
I think that definitely surprised me, the community that I would find, because I wasn't really expecting it.
Freedom.
Friendly. Nice. I'd say cozy.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there. In that moment, you know that you've reached them.
Welcome back into Cronkite News. Phoenix is home to a large Bosnian community, and many of them came together during the World Cup to cheer on their home country. Cronkite News reporter Jake Yovanay was with them as they took in the world's game.
About 10 miles from downtown Phoenix sits a little piece of the Balkans. Walking into Old Town Sarajevo is like walking into a small exclave of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it's been like that since 2000. It makes it a perfect place to watch Bosnia compete in this year's World Cup.
Being older and listening to our anthem play in an American stadium on American soil is so amazing.
In 1992, war broke out in Bosnia, which lasted over 3 years, killing thousands and displaced millions from the region. According to the Arizona Department of Economic Security, nearly 7,000 Bosnian refugees came to Phoenix between 1993 and 2004 in the aftermath of the conflict. Now, 30 years later, Bosnians in the Valley get a chance to see their national team on the biggest stage, in the country they now call home.
For everybody to come together and basically be united as one, with a lot of love, a lot of peace, with all the cultures combining together, not just our Balkan nations, but everybody all together.
After defeating Italy in the World Cup playoffs in March, Bosnia booked a ticket for just its second World Cup appearance, much to the joy of Bosnians here in the Valley.
I felt like my knees, I didn't feel my knees anymore. I just felt like me sink to the ground. It was an amazing experience. It was just wow, this is really happening.
Bosnia and Croatia are the only two former Yugoslav nations to be represented in this year's tournament. With Phoenix's large communities, it's a chance to bring everyone together to watch the world's game.
I'm very proud to see Bosnia at the World Cup. Not only Bosnians, but also Croats, Serbs, Slovens, ex-Yugoslavia nations come together.
Us younger generation that grew up here and had to move because of the war and all of that, we got to see a different side of it.
Though Bosnia ultimately lost this particular game, by just being at the World's event gives a sense of pride to a community that's been through so much.
There's little people in the world that take the time to get to know our culture and understand our people and see how great we are and where we come from and our corners. So for you to recognize Bosnia means so much.
In Phoenix, Jake Jovine, Cronkite News.
Thanks, Jake. Well, that's it for this special World Cup edition of Cronkite News. I'm Jacob Brooks. Thank you all for joining us. And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.